We're doing the Easter eggs and predictions for Season 5, Episode 10 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Beware spoilers not caught up, plus the promo for, and sneak peeks and everything like that for the next episode. So, for this episode, I was actually kind of shocked about what actually was revealed, because usually my predictions are never usually right, ever, for this show. So, to actually have one of my predictions come true was shocking. And what I'm talking about is that a lot of people were predicting that Yo-Yo was Kasai's Seer, so... and I jumped onto that bandwagon or whatever, but I added my own spin on it where Yo-Yo could be the reason the Kree were creating all the humans of the lighthouse, and that actually came true. So technically, Yo-Yo is the mother of all humans of the lighthouse, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on too. But it's also revealed that was actually shocking. Was that they at some point cut off Yo-Yo's arms, and it's a reference to Yo-Yo's comic book look where Yo-Yo has a robotic arms, and I don't know who did it in the comics, but and I've been wanting this for the longest time. I wanted Yo-Yo to get her robotic arms, but after seeing her actually have no arms, it was horrifying, and I basically said, let's just hold it off for a bit and not actually do that. But it's possible that even before Yo-Yo was captured, her arms might have been already taken off, and there's a theory going around that since in 2022, before she was captured by the Kree, we see the Yo-Yo actually have black gloves on, and she normally doesn't wear gloves. So that was it's pretty odd, but it's possible that the writers and the producers and costume designer are trying to hide the fact that Yo-Yo's arms were already cut off. Similar to, and it's the gloves remind me of how Coulson's first attempt of robotic arms or robotic hand was actually a black glove to hide the fact that Clark Gregg doesn't actually have a robotic arm. So it's possible that they're doing the same thing here just to misdirect us. So yeah. But what I love about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I've talked about it before, is the way that they're able to foreshadow events. And Yo-Yo losing her arms were no exception, because in the first two episodes, there were references to her losing her arms. One of them, the first episode was when Mac and Yo-Yo were getting tortured by the Kree, and the Kree were saying, how long will it take for her arms to snap off? And once Daisy rescues Yo-Yo, she actually says, I was starting to picture myself with two hooks. And then in the second episode, when Grill pinned Coulson, Yo-Yo, and Mac to the wall, she says, where's an axe when you need one? So to have the writers to actually put that in the show and not actually have anyone really think about it is just really genius. And the writers of the show never really get enough credit that it should, because everyone thinks it's just a horrible show, and I don't understand that. But yeah, and going back to Yo-Yo being the mother of all humans, that would mean that Flint is Yo-Yo's kid, biological kid. So once Yo-Yo and Mac go back to the past and realize that Flint never came with them, and the reason because they weren't there to begin with, that's why Flint left, is they're going to probably feel guilty and want to go back to the future to bring them back to the past. But I don't know how the timeline would work, because he would not be in this timeline, so he would not exist. But it's possible that they found a way to actually bring Flint still back, is by having Flint be a different version of there would be a different version of Flint, because Yo-Yo and Mac could get pregnant and have a child and be Flint and still be the same actor. Because it is her DNA and blood and all that kind of stuff coursing through Flint's body, so it would work. But I don't know if they're going to do that either. I just want to find a way to keep the actor around, because I actually like this character, Flint. So yeah. And talking more about Flint is that the outfit that he's wearing, where it's black and green, it's it's very similar to what his outfit looks like in the comics, where it's black and green. Similar to how the costume designer of this show honors the source material for Daisy, where it's there's a little bit of yellow in her costume, and the symbol on her back is similar to what her gauntlets look like from the comics. So Flint gets a green and black outfit, so to honor the source material. And the next part of this thing I'm going to talk about is a little bit of a touchy subject, and you may agree or disagree how it was handled or whatever, but it's up to you. But I personally appreciate the way that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. writers stick to what they believe in and put social commentary in their show. And what I'm talking about is where Deke and May have like an exchange where Deke says, "Guns, man, it's like cheating. You shouldn't give this to who's not a really, really good person." And then May says, "You'd think there'd be a law." Whether you agree with how that was handled or not, or if you agree with that statement or not, it's totally up to you. But I just appreciate that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does stuff like this. And the only other Easter egg or reference or whatever that I could find is there's like a little parallel between how they handled the scene where Mac, Yo-Yo, and Simmons were trying to run to the rest of the team to get through the monolith, and to how they handled the monolith back in season 3, where Fitz is trying to rescue Simmons. It's similar aspects where it was like dramatic music, and the team being separated, and all like a flash of light, or in the case of the season 3, it was a big giant explosion or whatever. And then they played it off as, oh, did they get were they both in what's called Maybeth, or were they separated again, and then they were slowly revealed that both of them made it back from Maybeth. But in this, it's like different, and it's revealed in the promo that they all make it. So I like how they did that, played that around. So yeah, and the only other prediction area now I have is that I had a prediction for Deke, but it's revealed that it's not based on information and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to even talk about that. But a big part of this episode was that they revealed that Coulson is dying somehow, and a lot of theories going around is that it could be the knife that Ty stabbed Coulson with, but then you have to take into account that Daisy was also stabbed by Ty, so she should be infected if that was the case. But she might be, since she's an Inhuman, maybe whatever infected Coulson didn't infect Daisy. People think it's what's called the deal with the devil. And what's funny was that Deke actually might have foreshadowed this event too, back in last episode, where Deke told Coulson, or said to Coulson, that's definitely going to get infected when Coulson got hit in the head. So that was funny how that there was a talk of Coulson getting infected, and then we find out that he's infected by something. But anyway, what I actually think is actually going on is that Coulson is dying because of the GH325, because thematically it would connect a lot of the information and storylines that we're going about right now, where Tess came back to life because of the Kree blood. Yo-Yo was brought back from the Kree blood and all that kind of stuff. So thematically it would work because we're dealing with also the Kree as the main villain. But the biggest part of this the reveal that I caught was that was called Coulson was saying to Daisy that when she didn't want to leave, was that May taught you to fight. He needs her to lead. And I just want to shout out to Color Commentary, because a couple episodes ago I had a prediction about where May's storyline could go, where she could actually be the new director, and they said that they would make Daisy the director before May would ever be. So I just want to shout out color commentary for being most likely right about this scenario now. But what's called the first time we actually heard Coulson ever talk about wanting Daisy to lead was back in season 4, where it was right after Ghost Rider left to bring Eli to Hell, and so that would mean if I'm reading too much into it, maybe, but it's possible the reason he wanted her to be the new director back then, after when he stepped down back between season 3 and season 4, is possibly because he knew he was gonna die, so he wanted Daisy to take over, so he didn't have to worry about that responsibility. So yeah, he might have known this for a very long time. He just never told anyone. So that's what my theory is right now. So yeah, and what's called? It's revealed that, or some have revealed that the Kree might be also responsible for the Earth being destroyed, because they talk about aliens being being brought to Earth or whatever because of a light in the sky. People have theories about being Thanos being the one that's coming, or it was. I even thought it meant the Chitauri invasion that actually happened, where all the Avengers came about. But it's possible that it's a different invasion where it's actually the Kree, because Cassius is talking about his father, saying that he lusted over this planet. Cassius wants to stop the SHIELD team from coming back to the past, so his father doesn't have any resistance of fighting against. So it's possible that the Kree are involved somehow. And I found this comic book story from Nick Fury, Agents of SHIELD, Volume 1, Number 6. It deals with aliens that crashed on Earth some time ago, and they planned on destroying Earth because they felt nothing of value there. And they used a tractor beam to bring a asteroid to Earth, and to plan to destroy it. So it's possible that they are replacing the others with the Kree, and replacing the tractor beam with the gravitonium, because they brought back the gravitonium. So maybe that's what's responsible of how the Earth got destroyed. There was a guy that was helping Nick Fury in this comic called Cliff Randall, and it was revealed later on that he was actually one of the others, and he just never knew about it, and so he felt so attached to the team, Nick Fury, that he sacrificed himself and stopped the invasion of or this destruction from happening. So similar to how Enoch came attached to our SHIELD team, he sacrificed himself so the SHIELD team could save the world. It's possible that's what's going on here. I don't exactly know, but if I missed any Easter eggs or references, comment down below. See ya. And what do you predict for the upcoming episode? See ya.